Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, what a second season for that youngster.
Aldrick Rosas of the Giants putting total leather, and we are underway in the 2019 Pro Bowl. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the corner.
Eagles looking to scale those heights once again.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then, they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The starting unit for the AFC, definite Pittsburgh connection on that offensive line. 3 Steelers in Villanueva, Pouncey, and DeCastro. Also in that starting group, Quentin Nelson, the rookie from Indy at left guard, and the Titans' Taylor Lewan, selected to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl at right tackle. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Bobby Wagner of Seattle, he'll get credited for the tackle. Well, quite a front seven for the NFC. Jordan, Donald, Fletcher, Lawrence, Cox, they've all been here before, as have the linebackers, Mack, Kuechly, and Kerrigan. Though for Khalil Mack, it's his first appearance in an NFC uniform after 3 Pro Bowl selections as an Oakland Raider. Running right, this is Ingram. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out comes the NFC for their initial drive. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player. A guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. But the best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the 4th quarter.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. From the 30 on 2nd down, Ryan. Looking sideline, incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Starters for the NFC across the O-line. It's Tyron Smith of Dallas at left tackle. Brandon Brooks of the Eagles at left guard. You got Alex Mack, the center of the Falcons. Another Cowboy, Zach Martin at right guard. And then Teron Armstead of the Saints holding down the right side. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. The 3rd down run gets him nothing. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl Low score. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score. Going totally opposite what it should be.
Wow, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
This goes out right to Doyle. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Here's Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Josh Allen, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The NFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. I think they're ahead of...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Foles. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point.
Rush comes and they block it. Anger is on to, and this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Pulled in at the 24. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Foles, the linebacker Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Foles. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down, he finds a way to convert.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check, block 54, block 54. Check tight.
On play action, they'll throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Aaron Donald with a sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They're going to look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Williams loses the football, and it's scooped up by the NFC. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not 4 verts? One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The carry here for the big tight end. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Ryan. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. J.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Now he'll let it go deep left side. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. Now Elliott. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. From 4 yards out. And the NFC has taken the lead. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is good, and it makes it a 9-3 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. They held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw here. They're able to locate Wilson. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Foles going to come up now, 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. And he'll go down at the 28. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus?
Now a hit and a loose football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one to break the streak. A lot still to play for in the second half as we go back to Camping World Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ingram. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Foles. On the left side, it's McDonald. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will tie the score now at 9 apiece. Well, it's been a field goal extravaganza so far. That's 3 for him now, and it ties our game at 9-9.
I got a feeling the touchdowns are coming, though. Trust me on that one.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.